Assalamu alaikum. Chapter direct and inverse proportions. Topics to be discussed are exercise 1D question number 7 and 8. For reference, we are using exercise 1D of this book, so stay tuned.
Number 14. A consignment of fodder can feed 1,000 sheep for 20 days. Now, assuming that all the sheep consumes the fodder at the same rate, how many consignment of fodder are needed to feed 550 sheep for 400 days? So, first of all, we have to see how many variables we have. Let's see, a consignment of fodder, sheep and days. So 3 variables are involved: consignment, sheep and number of days. So as I have already explained that when 3 variables are involved, we have to solve the question in 2 steps. So step number 1, as I have already explained that in both the steps we have to keep one variable constant. So which variable do I need to keep constant here in the first step? Let's see. Let's go to the final question. The final question is, how many consignment of fooders are needed to feed 550 sheep for 400 days? So first of all, in first step I am going to find out how days 550 sheep will take to finish the consignment of fodder. Then in the next step I am going to find out that these 550 sheep will require how many consignments for 400 days. So in the first step, according to the question, one consignment, 1,000 sheep and consumes in 20 days. Okay, so I'm going to keep consignment constant, and in the next step I am going to keep 550 sheep constant. So if one consignment can feed 1,000 sheep in 20 days, we will have to know how many days are required for 550 sheep to consume this one consignment. So I'm keeping this consignment constant. Now let's see, since we have figured out and we have to deal with these 2 variables, let's see. 1,000 sheep, if we have 1,000 sheep, will it take more days to consume a consignment or consignment of fodder, or will it take less days to consume the consignment of fodder? So here, comparatively, if we have more sheep, they will consume limited food or a consignment of fodder in less days, right? And if we have less sheep, so I'm going to write down over here, more sheep will consume in less days, then less sheep, if we have less sheep, then they will consume in obviously more days. We have discussed this in the previous question, the relationship to of inverse proportion and direct proportion, how to figure it out. So 1000 sheeps will comparatively, as compared to 550 sheeps, will consume fooder in less days, rather than 550 sheeps will consume, because they are less, they will consume the fooder in more days. So what relationship is this? This is inverse proportion. And when inverse proportion is involved in any relation between two variables, we know when three variables are known and one variable is unknown, what formula we use? X1 into Y1 is equals to X2 into Y2. So here X1 is 1000, Y1 is 20, X2 is 550, and Y2 is going to be our required value. I am going to put all these values in our formula, and we'll get the value of Y2. 1000 multiplied by 20 is equals divided by 550. A value of Y2 is going to be 36.3. You can say that with one consignment, 550 sheeps, one consignment can feed 550 sheeps for 36.3 days. Haan bhai. Now for next step, we have to figure out that we have already established one consignment can feed 550 sheep in 36.3 days. Now we have to find out that how many consignments are required for 400 days. So now days are going to be 400. 550, I am going to keep this variable as constant, and the required consignment is going to be, let's see, first we have to deal now, forget about this, and let's deal with our two variables. So one consignment can feed 550 sheep for 36.3 days. How many consignments are required for 400 days? So let's see, if there will be less days comparatively as compared to 400 days, if there will be less days, will we need more consignments or less consignment? Yes, if there will be less days, we will need less number of consignments. Okay, wait. There will be less days, we will be required less number of days, and if there will be more days, we will be required more number of consignments. So what relationship is this? Yes, when one value increases and the other value increases with itself, or one variable increases with the other value, the other variable, what this relationship is. Here one variable is increasing with the other variable and decreasing with the other variable. So what relationship is this? Yes, this is direct proportionality, and we know when direct proportionality in direct proportionality, when one variable is unknown and three variables are known, here three variables are known, what formula do we use? Y1 upon x1, y2 upon x2. Here Here x1 is 1, y1 is 36.3, x2 is unknown and y2 is 400. So x2 is not unknown here.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more updates.